welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live. And today I'm going to show you how I made a card with the pretty new Winterly Treetops stamp set bundle from Stampin' Up. This is one of those bundles that is actually coming in the, September to December 2024 mini catalog. And sorry, I'm going to move my camera around here just a little bit, try to get it straightened out just a hair better than what I currently am. Hopefully that is going to help and fix the straightness, although I'm not sure I did. Maybe I made it worse. Anyhow, all right. So I think we're good to go, finally. So this is a new stamp set bundle from the upcoming September to December 2024 mini catalog. And you've probably been seeing a few projects made with it floating around out and about. Demonstrators that attended the, what was it called? Creativity Now event, I think is what it was called, back in June, were able to pre-order this bundle way early, and actually the whole suite of products. And I've just finally decided to pull it out and play with it and share a card made today, since we're getting a little closer to the pre-order. That starts on August 6th for demonstrators. We've actually gotten to see the PDF copy of the catalog, and it's fantastic. I can't wait for you all to see it too. It's a really pretty, lots of winter and Christmas and a little bit of fall in there. No Halloween, so if you're waiting for Halloween, there isn't any Halloween in the catalog. So we've got in our online store, plus they've told us that there's going to be some upcoming additional items that'll be available that are Halloween related. So, but nothing in the catalog. So I see Sal is here, and Mary Ruth, and Danette, and Carol, and Sherry. Thanks everybody for joining today. So this is a card. Again, this bundle will be available to order starting on September 4th for customers. It's available to pre-order for demonstrators that missed the Creativity Now event. Will be able to pre-order it starting on August 6th. So if you're not currently a demonstrator, this is a great time to join, because you can get your pre-order items and get a head start on all the things Christmas from the upcoming catalog. So again, this is the card we're making today. Just a simple, pretty little bit of layering, and I'll show you the die cutting. It looks like it's fabulously colored, but it's actually designer paper, because, you know, I'm the laziest card maker ever, and I don't do anything that isn't easy. And this was really easy. So, all right, Winterly Treetops is the name of the stamp set. So there are the little birds in here. If you do want to stamp and color them in a specific way, you certainly can. But I'll show you in a second. There's some coordinating designer series paper called Nests of Winter that you can actually die cut the same birds from. There's a little swag in here, some little, I don't know, greenery, whatever you want to call it. Another little bird here that is also in the designer series paper. So again, you can either stamp and die cut it and color it yourself, or you can use from the designer series paper. And then just some nice sentiments. There is nothing that is specifically Christmas in here. So it's definitely leans towards Christmas and winter and with the designer series paper. But it's not like a full-on Christmas set. So if you wanted to make this into a Christmas card, you certainly could grab any Christmas sentiment and add it to it, but this one doesn't have any. So this is the Winterly Treetops dies, and again, we've got the bird. This one cuts out the single bird. This one cuts out the double birds. This one will cut out your swag. This one cuts out this image. And then there are just some accessory pieces. So this is a cool frame. Actually, it will cut out. And I know that you've probably seen some projects made with it. So it cuts out a really pretty little frame that you can put around your bird images or whatever you want to. And then there are some additional little die cuts for your evergreens. There we go. Is that what they're called? I think that's what they're called. And then again, just some additional die cut pieces here. So it is a great bundle and a beautiful suite. And again, it'll be available starting on September 6th for customers to order. Or you can, if you join, you can get it as part of your pre-order starting on August 6th. So the other thing that I did use on this, and of course they went on back order in the meantime, is these are the Spotlight on Nature dies. And I use this particular circle, which is the one that measures about 2 1/4 inches wide at the widest spot. And that's the one I use to cut out my sentiment here on my card front. But again, you can use any circle die you want to. I just thought this one was extra pretty. All right, set those aside. A couple things to get going here. Hey, Sharon, thanks for joining. And Jolene, and again, everybody, thanks for being patient and letting me do this crazy different times. Seems like every day for my lives when I come on. Summer is just kind of a wild time and trying to keep up with the kids' schedule and my schedule. Eek. I appreciate you guys being flexible and being able to join whenever or catch the replay if the time doesn't work for you. So, all right, bonus days. The earning period is ending tomorrow, which is July 31st. So the way bonus days works is orders in July for every order of $50 or greater that you placed starting on July 3rd. Through the end of July, you're going to get a $5 off coupon that you can spend on any order that you have during the month of August. And again, this applies for demonstrators as well. So if you join, you can go ahead and earn your bonus days coupons and spend them on your pre-order, which yay, starting on August 6th. Have I stressed the pre-order starts on August 6th enough? So just don't forget, earning period ends tomorrow on the 31st, and then you can start redeeming them August 1st, and you can redeem them on any order that you place during the month of August. All right. Online exclusive, don't forget to go take a peek at those. In the online store, there's a lot of new holiday, Christmas, fall, Halloween stuff in the online exclusives. This is just a small sampling of the items, so make sure you go peek at those. When you're in the online store, if you go and click on the little menu button on my computer, it's on the upper left, then we'll take you to a spot where one of the options right there says online exclusives. If you click on it, you go right to it. So, all right, let's get going on the card. So I've got a pool party card base cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25. Hey, Darlene and Marilyn, thanks for hopping in. I see you're both here. So again, pool party card base, just your standard kind of book fold card. And then this is a piece of the Nests of Winter designer series paper. So the flip side of it has got these pretty little birds all over it. This side has got what to me it looks like snow or just kind of a nice background. And it's pool party in color in general. And it should be cut to the card front size, which should be 4.25 by 5.5. Measurements and all the details for this card will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. I'll link directly to the blog post tomorrow morning once it goes live around about 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And you'll be able to go and grab the PDF tutorial and all that good stuff. So all the cardstock cuts, everything I used to create the card will be listed out there tomorrow. So, all right, here we go. Got that adhered to the card front. I'm going to set that aside for just 1 second. Then I've got a little bit more of the Winterly Treetops designer series paper. These are little pieces of it. So the flip side of it has got this little design on it, whatever those are. I don't know. I'm sure there's some winter thing. These are cut to about, what did I measure these at? 1.25 inches by 3 5/8 inches. And I'm adhering them to pieces of crumb cake cardstock that are 1 3/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So they're 1/8 of an inch larger than my designer series paper panels. So just going to use a little Stampin' Seal, and hopefully I will not run out. If I do, I think I've got a Stampin' Seal within reach right behind me, so I'll grab that and open it up and start using that one. All right, just going to adhere these together, all 3 of them. I can see the red in there is getting a little brighter, so that means I'm getting down there on my Stampin' Seal. I should have grabbed another one, but I didn't look very closely when I set up for this. So, all right. There's the 3rd one. Okay, now I'm going to take these and I'm going to generally kind of place them on the card front. I'm going to try to get my card sort of lined up on grid lines here so that I can hopefully have kind of an idea of where I should be placing things. So that, and then we'll place another one over here and then the final one over here. And then I can just kind of maneuver them around a little bit on the card front before I start sticking things down. Generally, when I'm doing a grouping of 3 like this, I will put the middle one down first because that one kind of anchors everything. And then the others I can move in or out based on where I happen to stick this one. So if I mess this one up, then the other 2 I can kind of adjust to get it so that they look straight and kind of even, and hopefully I'll get it fairly centered. I am not going to smoosh it down really hard yet. I'm just kind of laying it down there with the Stampin' Seal on the back. And then once I get everything placed on the card front where I think I want it, then I'm going to smoosh everything down. But for now, I'm just going to kind of set it down so that I can still move things if I decide at the last second, oh, I don't like the placement of that, I want to move it, then we can still move it. So, all right, let me stick this one over here. And probably a little bit off center. Let's slide this over just a hair. Slide, whoop, come on, don't stick. There we go. Slide this one over just a hair. And again, there's no magic or science to it. I'm not very good at pulling out a ruler. If I were, I could probably get it on here perfectly straight, but I just kind of eyeball it and stick it down where I think it looks like it's straight and call it good because I'm going to layer over the top of it. So I don't think anybody's going to notice if it's a little crookedy. All right, next up, I have got the kind of larger swag image from the Winterly Treetop stamp set, and we are going to ink that with Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And we're going to do a little quick coloring on here. There we go. I think we got that good and inky. Get that out of the way and stamp this here on basic white cardstock. There we go. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to grab some Stampin' Blends markers. I have got, we will start with Granny Apple Green. Maybe we'll start with Granny. There we go. Let's say, why won't this come open? All right, and I'm going to color the wider leaves with light Granny Apple Green first. Should have probably colored some of this ahead of time, but you know, part of filling the dead space, I guess. You just have to listen to me ramble on. So hopefully y'all are having a wonderful day. It is another beautiful day here in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey in a small town about an hour straight west of New York City, for those of you that don't know me very well, but that's where I am right now. So coloring in here, and it's hot and humid. It's summertime definitely here in New Jersey, but it's not been too terrible recently. The humidity hasn't been quite as high. It's still not lovely outside, but it's not as sticky as it once was. All right, so I'm adding in just a little bit of dark Granny Apple Green, just kind of putting it in areas where I think there will probably be a little shadow, and then just adding a little bit of color here, kind of down towards the center of those. Come back in with my light Granny Apple Green and do just a quick little bit of pulling that dark Stampin' Blends up just a little and blending it so there's not a harsh line there, hopefully. And again, I don't spend a ton of time coloring and figuring out exactly where all the shadows and the shading and everything should be. I just color it until it looks good to me, and then I stop. So I don't put a whole lot of thought in it, just sort of add in a little color here and there. All right, Shaded Spruce is my other green that I'm using on here, and I'm using that one to color in the kind of skinnier leaves. And again, I don't know, I know that there are little berries on here, but other than that, I don't know what kind of plant this is supposed to be. We'll just call it skinny leaves and wider leaves. And I'm sure somebody will point out to me which plant it is, but I don't know off the top of my head. So all good. All right, color that little one in there. Then we're going to come over here, do the same thing. And I don't have an extremely steady hand when I get to these little skinny leaves. Sometimes I struggle a little, but that's okay. Again, a lot of it's going to be colored up, so if you go a little out of the lines, you can grab your color lifter and push the color back in the lines, or you can just leave it like I usually do, because for the most part, most people probably won't see it or notice it. All right, I've got dark Shaded Spruce here, and just going to go in and put a little touch of color sort of at the base of each of the leaves. So, oh, thanks, darling. All right. Doing, again, just adding a little touch of darker color at the base of the leaves. And I may not even really go and recolor these because they're small enough and the ink sort of like spreads itself out a little bit. And then I have light and dark Real Red, which I think, I don't know, I was thinking that Cherry Cobbler, but I think it's Real Red. In the Designer Series paper, I should pull the pack out and make sure that I'm using the right color, but I believe that I am. I think I double checked it before I hopped on here. So I'm coloring in the little berries with the light real red first. And then adding a little touch of the dark real red. And again, I don't have any like specific or precise way to color all these and make them look perfect. I just add a little bit of shading here and there where I think it needs it. And then I can always come back with my light and fill in any spaces that I've missed and blend a little bit with my shading. For me, it works a little better to use the light first and then add the dark and then come back in and color with the light. Some people prefer to put the dark in first, but I find for me this is the easier way. So there we go. All done coloring. So hey, Roberta, thanks for hopping in. So pretty quick and easy to do that. Then we've got our coordinating die here that I'm going to go ahead and run this through the die cutting machine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment since I have to die cut that too. So I've got crumb cake ink and the little sentiment that says sending thanks and love. And we're just going to stamp that right up here. And I know it's a little bit larger of a circle, so I don't want to get too close to the edges or my other stamped image. So send my Stampin' Seal flying. So hopefully I will be able to get everything cut through here with one swing. So again, these are from the Spotlight on Nature dies, and I used the it's like a dashed circle. I don't know how else to describe it. That measures about 2 1/4 inches. And I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine. So, thanks, Evelyn, for joining from Germany. Sunny, it's sunny there too. It's definitely sunny and warm here in New Jersey as well. So, all right, let me run these through my die cutting machine. I'll be right back. Sorry, I just threw my cutting plate totally on the floor. All right. Let's see. Now I gotta pick up my cutting plate. There's my circle. And then there's the little swag. So let me get rid of that and put my die back here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick my little die cut swag onto the card front with some mini glue dots would be the name that I'm trying to come up with. Not stamping anything. So mini glue dots. Just taking a couple and sticking them underneath, one under each side and then one kind of near the center. And we'll just tuck this in here right about like that. There we go. Hey, Donna, thanks for joining. It's so fun that when I come live at a different time, and Betty's here as well, when I come live at a different time, I get people from all over the world. So this must be a time when more people are awake than just those of us in the US. So, all right. So next up, I am going to cut out, this is from the Nests of Winter Designer Series paper. And I'm going to just cut out one of the birds because the dies coordinate perfectly with this little set of birds. So I'm just going to snip it out. And then there's also a second die in here that if you wanted to cut out one of the single birds, it cuts those out too. So it makes coloring super easy. All you have to do is cut it out and die cut it. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to grab, just snip around here. This is my fancy fussy cutting skills that you all will be seeing. Snipping around the birds here. Set that aside, and then again go back over to my die cutting machine, and I'll try not to throw my cutting plate on the floor this time. And I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine, so I'll be right back. So there are my little birds. I've got those die cut now. Get that out of the way. And then I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and we are going to stick the birds onto the card front. And these are my little chopped in half Stampin' Dimensionals. So if you prefer to use the minis or the full dimensionals, you can certainly do that. I just like my little half ones because I feel like they fit in a lot of spaces a little better than the full-size ones do, and the mini ones, in my opinion, are too small. I don't know. I struggle with the mini ones and getting them to stick in the spaces where I want them to stick. And anyhow, so I just do this and stick them on with the half Stampin' dimensionals. All right, come on. Get the backing off there. And we'll flip that over, and we're going to go ahead and stick this on. I think we'll kind of stick it right about there and call it good. And then I've got my sentiment here. That's all die cut and ready to go as well. And we're just going to grab some Stampin' dimensionals and put them on the back of that as well. Maybe 3 or 4 of them here. Come on. And we got all the, oh, there's one more backing on there. And then I'm going to take my sentiment and kind of tuck it underneath the little branch there. And because I thought it looked kind of pretty having the little branch, overlay it just a little bit. And then we'll stick that down to the card front. The last thing that I added, these are also from this suite of products in the upcoming mini catalog. These are called Earth Tones Shimmer Gems, and they coordinate with the Designer Series paper. So they're small and shimmery and really pretty, and they're perfect for card fronts. And I can't remember the colors: garden green, crumb cake, and then 2 other colors that are in the paper, but I don't remember what they are. So yeah, anyway, so we'll grab a couple of these little crumb cake shimmer gems, one of the larger ones, one of the smaller ones, and tuck them here in around my birds. And the card front's all done. So there you go. The inside of the card I kept simple as well. I've got a piece of basic white cardstock cut to 4 by 5 1/4 inches, and then I've got a little piece, a 1/2 inch piece of the Winterly or Nests of Winter Designer Series paper that I trimmed off when I was making my card front. And we're just going to stick that, whoops, I already got that pulled off. So just going to stick that to the bottom of my crumb cake cardstock with a little bit of Stampin' Seal. Hopefully, if I can get it on here straight. There we go. And it is a little oversized piece of Designer Series paper, but I like to do that because it gives me a little extra to hang on to, and a little, you know, if I don't have my cardstock cut exactly correctly, it lets me trim it down and to the size of the cardstock rather than worrying about, oh, whoops, it's a little short. So, all right, I'm going to use a little Stampin' Seal to adhere this, and I think we just made, yep, Stampin' Seal just ran out. So, whew, barely had enough to finish the card. We'll stick this on the inside of the card. There we go. And then just fold it closed and do a quick crease along the top with the bone folder, so we got a good solid fold on it. And that's it. So a super quick and easy, and I think pretty, I love the birds in that Designer Series paper. And I love the, anything wood grain is always like, yay for me. So there is an embossing folder that has a similar texture to the wood grain paper that you see on the background. That's also part of this suite. So it's a really great set of products. Again, all will be available starting on September 4th for customers to order, but demonstrators can pre-order it starting on August 6th. So if you join, you can add this to your starter kit if you join on the 6th or later. Or if you join now, you can just go ahead and do the regular pre-order with us. So let me know if you have questions about anything. Let me know if you have questions about joining. Also, if you are a customer of mine, I will be mailing catalogs out just as soon as I get them. I can order them on August 6th, and I'll be mailing them out as soon as they arrive to my customers that have ordered from me within the past year. If you'd like a catalog, just go ahead and place an order through my online store anytime between now and, well, anytime, and I'll send you a copy of the catalog. Let me know if you have questions about anything. Again, details will be posted on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com, and I'll link directly to the blog post once it goes live tomorrow around 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks again for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I'll plan to be live, I don't know, I'll say 10 o'clock-ish on Friday, since the schedule keeps changing, around 10 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you all soon.